Hello, BookTube. All right, this is in the nature of a test. A lot of the videos that I'll be making today will be in the nature of a test of tech, of recording tech, because I had an absolute tech apocalypse at the end of 2022. And I have not recovered from it, and I can't recover from it. A lot of the stuff that was affected by it is no longer usable. So I'm thrown back on a whole bunch of other tech. Now, I'm not complaining on one level, because on one level I'm lucky that I had a whole bunch of tech to fall back on. I remember the days very vividly when I did not, when I had one device and that's it. Now I have plenty of redundancy, plenty, for most of what I do, for writing, for reviewing, for filing stuff, that sort of thing, for editing. It's just the filming. I would love to be able to film where I edit and write instead of another device. So one solution to this would be for you to step up and send me tech. Send me a MacBook that you don't use. If you have one sitting somewhere, a MacBook that you don't use, maybe you upgraded it or got upgraded or whatever. That's one way. Another way is for this to be passable. So I'm making this, we'll do a little mail haul here, and I will upload this. You can see me, you can hear me. I just want to know, comparatively speaking, like I mentioned in another test video that I did today, I'm okay with low tech for this channel, and I think most of you are too. I just don't want the low tech to be getting in the way. I don't want it to be impeding the experience. So let's do just a little mail haul here, just to test this out and to see what we got. It's much smaller than the other day. For instance, I got the Bedford Times Press from Bedford, Iowa, which is a small town paper in Bedford, Iowa, that runs my book column. I write roughly 800 to 1,000 word book column every week. It runs in a couple of other places too. I'd love it to run in your paper if you know the person involved or the person who makes those decisions. Feel free to either put me in touch with them or let me know so that my column can run where you are too. It's a general all-purpose books-related column that I'm really, really enjoying. I really enjoy writing it. And then we have a couple of packages, so we'll go through those. This test video doesn't have to be long, although this is not as good. It's not as sharp as the technology that I lost in the end of 2022, but even I can see that this is serviceable. It's probably no worse than the tech that I used when I started this channel. We'll see. I mainly want feedback from you, but let's see what we have here. Oh, great. Okay, fantastic. All right, this is coming out from the Mysterious Press, the great folks at the Mysterious Press, and this is the first ever biography of Mickey Spillane. Seems kind of amazing, but it's true. This is called Spillane, King of Pulp Fiction. It's by Max Allan Collins and James Traynor. And it's, look at that. 2022 was the 75th anniversary of Mike Hammer, Spillane's signature character. Interesting. Okay, so this is the first ever biography of the most influential pulp writer of all time. Oh. Somebody better not let Michael K. Vaughan hear that. And, I'm perfectly okay with Mickey Spillane novels. I like them just fine. But to call him the most influential pulp writer of all time, even I know that's not true. But anyway, beginning in 1947 with I, the Jury, and continuing with his next 6 novels, Mickey Spillane quickly amassed a readership in the tens of millions, becoming a best-selling novelist in the history of American publishing. Really? We're off to a rocky start. With this pub sheet, we're off to a rocky start. The most influential pulp writer of all time was claim number 1. And claim number 2 is becoming the best-selling novelist in the history of American publishing. When I think, Seymour, that you mean maybe the best-selling pulp novelist of all time in American history, or maybe at the most you mean the best-selling male novelist of all time. If you think in your wildest dreams that Mickey Spillane outsold Jacqueline Suzanne or Jackie Collins, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. That's okay. Let's see what we have here. Surrounded by controversy for the overt violence and suggestive sexual content of his iconic Mike Hammer Private Eye novels, Spillane was loathed by critics but beloved by his readers. And the success of his tough, hard-boiled writing left a lasting mark on the mystery genre, inspiring scores of followers and indelibly shaping crime fiction in the decades that followed. However, there's more to the life of Frank Morrison Spillane than his books. Probably not much more. Born in Brooklyn, raised in New Jersey, the young son of a bartender worked as a circus performer and fighter pilot before his writing career took off. And through writing, he went on to a career as an actor, a crime stopper, and a Miller Lite spokesperson in commercials so popular they ran for a quarter of a century. Okay, well, I have a reviewer all set up for this thing, so I will mail it out to him first thing on Monday. But now you know that this is coming out. This is coming out in early February. Spillane, king of pulp fiction. Then what's this next package? A best-selling novelist in American history. Oh man, I swear. I swear. How do people do that? How do they just? I know it's common, even in the 21st century. It's common, but how do people just forget half the population? How do people just forget that women write books? I never understand that. Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. Okay. This is Samuel Pepys and the Strange Wrecking of the Gloucester, the shipwreck that shocked Restoration Britain, by Nigel Pickford. How's that for a British name? Nigel Pickford. Let's see here. He is a maritime historian and works with companies to locate shipwrecks and recover lost cargo and treasure. Well, no trouble in locating the Gloucester. And he's written a bunch of books. He lives in England. That need not have been said. And he's written a bunch of books on shipwrecks and treasure. And this is once upon a time was a famous shipwreck. This comes out also in early February. I'll be reviewing this for the Christian Science Monitor. Let's see, where does the description begin? This is the true story of royal intrigue, with famed diarist Samuel Pepys as the main protagonist. A fatal shipwreck on the shores of Restoration Britain sparks a mystery that may now finally be solved. The author's compelling account of the catastrophe draws from rich historical material, including letters, diaries, and ship's logs, revealing for the first time the full drama and tragic consequences of a shipwreck that shook Restoration Britain. In 1682, Charles II invited his scandalous younger brother James, Duke of York, to return from exile and take his rightful place as heir to the throne. To celebrate, the future king set sail in a fleet of 8 ships destined for Edinburgh, where he would reunite with his young pregnant wife. Yet disaster struck en route, somewhere off the Norfolk coast. The royal frigate carrying James and his entourage sank, causing some 200 sailors and courtiers to perish. The diarist Samuel Pepys had been asked to sail with James, but had refused the invitation, preferring to travel in one of the other ships. Why? What did he know that the others did not? Under the assumption here that Pepys was a brown-noser. He was a trimmer. So he would certainly have sailed with the future King of England, unless he had a reason. Religious and political tensions were rife in the years leading up to the wreck of the Gloucester. James was a Catholic, as was his wife, and there was a large constituency who wished them dead. Plots and conspiracies abounded. The Royal Navy was itself in disarray, badly equipped and poorly organized. Could someone on board be to blame for the sinking, either from malice or incompetence? So this is going to be, I could not be happier that I'm writing for an international newspaper about Samuel Pepys. Very first time writing about Pepys for the Monitor. And here's the book. So I've had the PDF of this for a while now, and I have dug into it, but there's nothing like the book for a thing that you're going to grapple with and then render a judgment on for the public. Not that I'm not going to review Spillane, King of the Pulps. I'm not going to do that. I have a reviewer for this. But I am going to review this. So there you go. A quick 2-book mail haul. Non-fiction. We've got biography and Samuel Pepys. I wonder if Nigel Pickford is going to go so far as to blame Pepys in some way. It sounds like as far as he's going to go is to say that maybe Pepys had insider knowledge of why he shouldn't get on board the Gloucester. that would fly in the face of one of the most prevalent theories, which is that the Gloucester sank through incompetence, and hence was not predictable that it would do so. It's going to be great to dig in. I will dig into it tonight, probably. Actually, I feel like I should read the Mickey Spillane book anyway, even though I'm going to send this copy away, and I'm not going to be responsible for it. I still feel like I should read it anyway. But anyway, that's it. That is this little test video. It's a mail haul. You were able to see the books. I know perfectly well you're able to see that. I just want to know how acceptable this is. If the audio and visual of this thing is, well, the bean is always acceptable. Aren't you, baby? Aren't you, baby girl? You always are acceptable. Oh, but you see, your fans want to see your face, baby. There you are. Huh? There you are. There's the baby girl. Hi, little girl. The bean is always acceptable. But if this video is acceptable, then I will use this machine. I'm absolutely in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. It is rock solid. It is trimmed all around. The top of the chassis on all sides has rubber. It was trimmed in rubber. I bet I could drop this thing from 10 feet and it'd be perfectly undamaged. And the speakers are on the top and they face straight at me instead of on the bottom facing down. And the hinges for the laptop itself are like something on a hydraulic press. This was meant to be indestructible. It was meant to be used for generations of school children. One class after another washing in, opening this thing up and using it in class. And that's just about the level of manhandling that I'm at. So it'd be a dream come true if this could film videos that were acceptable enough until one of you ponies up a MacBook. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.